Hello my lovelies. I mislaid my woo, but I think I've discovered it again. It suddenly showed up out of nowhere. Sometimes we have to withdraw and nurture ourselves because there's an empty tank, and I was driving on just fumes, so a break, and now I'm recharging myself. So I hope you're all well. I've missed you. And today we have, it's a full moon eclipse in the sign of Taurus at 27 degrees. So I'm feeling very buzzy. Don't know about you guys, but there's a sort of an excitement in the air, a strange tingling. It's been over the last 2 or 3 days. And so I think that's how my woo showed up again. And I got busy drawing and painting and sculpting and sewing and knitting and using that creative energy, those juices that seemed to have dried up a bit in the last few months. But I'm taking it steady. I know I can't do it all at once, so it's like I've had a sabbatical, which was necessary. So I felt overwhelmed with information, so much stuff showing up in multiple realities, I suppose. So in my ordinary everyday life, whatever that is, overwhelm. And so I've had to digest a lot of it, which was unpalatable. Made me feel very unwell on lots of different levels, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually too. As I say, the woo has returned, hooray! And not quite sure where it's going to lead me, but I know in times past, when I've given too much of myself away, given my power away, and then ended up exhausted, the ability to say no and to not be available is very empowering. So this view here of the shoreline is a revelation. So on a full moon the energy always changes, the weather changes, the tide changes, so all of this is revealed, which is normally covered in water. So there are some steps there. And as the tide has gone out, you can walk all the way around the coast there, up to the town. So I'm being shown things here that have been hidden, little pockets of rocks and stones and steps, and the steps can be seen in 2 ways. They're going down, but they're also coming up, so I think this is a new pathway, or stepping stones for me, and it's a choice. I have two choices. I can either go up or go down. I've been down, which has been quite dark and gloomy, scary, shocking, tumultuous. And I think it's time to go up those steps. Find a new pathway. So I've got lots of schemes and plans in the pipeline, which I'll share with you at some point. So I'm going to do an inside recording when I get home to add to this. So we'll see what else shows up. So now I'm back home with Miss Lyra, who's having a little snooze. She's got a belly full of dinner. And as I've mentioned to you in previous videos, my two cats, my fur babies, they are Galactic Fur Babies. And they told me they didn't want to come in human bodies because they're so dense, not thick, but you know, dense, and hard work. So they decided to come in feline bodies, and it's much easier for them to be senders and receivers, transmitters and receivers. And over these last few months, while I've been in hermit mode, I've gleaned a lot of information from them. So Lyra is the constellation where the cat beings come from, and her brother Sirius, who's just gone out and about. Sirius is the dog star, where the dog beings come from. So together, working with me, they bring a very different energy into my life. A lot of people say, oh, they're useless, they don't do anything, they just sleep. Well, while they're sleeping, they're transmitting and receiving. They're sending back messages to the home planet, and they're receiving messages which they then pass on to me, which I can then pass on to others. It's a very subtle energy. It's a very finely tuned. And in my experience with dogs and cats, some dogs are fast asleep all the time, and others are wide awake and have an awareness of energies and such like around. And it's the same with cats. So it's like their souls are asleep or their souls are awake. Well, this one, although she appears to be sleeping, she's very much awake. Yes. And so having a brother and a sister, the male and the female energies, that's a very good balance for me. Bringing into harmony my male and female energies, the divine, masculine and feminine. So I'm all snuggled up indoors with the fire going, and this feeling of comfort and nurturing and nourishment and warmth. That a lot of people seem to be lacking at the moment. There's a lot of energy in people's bodies which is only from the chest up, because they're using that energy to worry and to be anxious and to agonize over things. So they're not grounded. The energy is not going down their legs into their feet, enabling them to move about with ease because there's no clarity. And when people are anxious, they don't breathe properly. Their lungs are not utilized as they should be. So with shallow breathing, you're not getting enough oxygen to the brain and around your body. So I've detached myself from a lot of people around me as their energy hits me because it's so stagnant and toxic and barely living. People are just existing. And I set out on a day with joy in my heart and this sense of aliveness and, oh, I wonder what today will bring. So how are you feeling, you guys? Have you been in hermit mode? Are you feeling joyful? Have you had to withdraw and rejuvenate? So the energy of this full moon in Taurus is about the body and the pleasures of life, how we feed ourselves, how we feed our souls, how we enjoy life. So if that enjoyment has been lacking, this eclipse should turn things around for us, bring things out into the open. A lot of revelations over this weekend and the days to come. So Venus rules this full moon eclipse because Venus rules Taurus. And Venus is a planet to do with beauty and love, finances, luxury, comfort. So where those things have been lacking or missing in our lives, we need to be able to tap into that again, embrace it. It's not like it's gone away, it is actually still within you, but it's like you've turned the switch off. If you can activate that energy within you again, self-nurturing, and also when you are around other people, paying them a compliment. Whatever you say to another comes back to you, whether it's negative or positive. So when you compliment someone, you're complimenting yourself. Or even just to say, oh, isn't it a beautiful day? Isn't it fabulous? Aren't we lucky? And notice people's reactions. Very few people will say, oh no, it's awful. I'm not enjoying this wonderful weather. So as I said previously, I've been writing and drawing and painting and doing these creative things. So I've picked up 2 manuscripts I've been working on, and they're starting to flow again. The stories are building up nicely. So hopefully within the next few months there'll be something to show in the physical that the readers will find inspiring and uplifting and funny. So that's your lot for now. Thanks for joining me. Lovely to see you all again. If you'd like to subscribe and comment and a like would be good. And I'll see you all again very soon. Lots of love, celestial blessings. Bye.